How you doing, people? I'm back again, folks, to cross the I's and dot the T's for people. Do you remember this thing in 1973 with Robert Redford, Paul Newman and Robert Shaw? How Paul Newman and Robert Redford created an illusion to embezzle a large amount of money from someone, from a gambler. Yeah, well, this case is like, folks, this case is like all illusions as well. The things are like this, but we know they're not. And once again, it's all to embezzle as well a large amount of money. But that's in the second side. This is called the Great Big Hide, folks. The Great Big Vaccine Hide. Now, this is in two parts, folks. Okay, I'm going to explain the first part to you from 1995 into 2011. Now, I'm just going to go through some parts that I've discussed with my mother when I found out about this nightmare. Just roughly about just before the middle of 2012, folks, was when I was dropped into a nightmare and absolutely destroyed by it, distraught. So is the family, you know. But let's go and we'll start from the start. My sister was born in 1994, a healthy girl, went to a loving family, folks. Mother, father, sister. And she was 1 year old, but 3-year-old, folks. She'd attended nursery in Camlogic Primary School on the south side of Glasgow. So from there, that's attached to the school, which is no longer there now. So when she was 3 years old to 5 years old, this is me just going back, I was discussing with my mother. My mother had noticed with my sister that she was very quiet and withdrawn, and kind of just that something wasn't right. And the particular thing that did kind of concern my mother was the fact is that whenever my mother went out, Michelle always had to have a pad and a bit of paper, a pad and a pen with her. Wherever she went out, she always had to have this with her. So my mother was concerned by this and went to Mr. Dr. Quigley, who was the family doctor, and obviously voiced her concern. And Mr. Quigley says, "Oh, there's nothing wrong there, no, that's fine, I don't see anything at all, she'll come out of that, blah blah blah." So my mother left, obviously. The doctor, whatever he says, you know, you've got to take it as gospel, haven't you? He's a family doctor, you know, act in your best interest. So, she went to Camlogic Primary School, and she was 5 years old, and still, as my mum says, you know, very quiet, concerned about these things. And by 7 years old, she had to go to the dentist to get her teeth out, and she couldn't. It terrified her. You know, the needles absolutely terrified my sister totally. So she had to be referred to York Hill Hospital at the age of 7. She was 7 or 8 years old, to be precise. I can't be precise, but it was around about that time, to have her teeth out under sedation. So my mother took it to York Hill, got her teeth out, back, realised that a certain amount of teeth were taken out, you know, more than what she expected, you know. So back home again with her daughter. And at 8 years old, my mother decided to put a placing request into Thornleybank Primary School, which is under East Renfrewshire Council Authority. You know, so the placing request was put in and it was accepted. So she went to Thornleybank. During that time, there was repeated visits to Mr. Quigley. Because we were withdrawn, not saying much, very quiet. And Mr. Quigley, obviously, there was nothing. I don't see her, there's nothing wrong. She's fine. But there was a particular time at Mr. Quigley's practice where she did take a panic attack. My mother told me that she took a panic attack and she was in a terrible state. And Mr. Quigley came out, "Oh, are you okay, Michelle? Giving her a wee hold, are you okay?" Trying to calm her down. And he calmed her. He managed to calm her down. "Oh, she's okay, just take her home." I said, "It's okay, she's fine." So away home my mother went, And then, in 2006, she went to Wood Farm High School, which is in the south side of the city. And Wood Farm High School likes to portray itself as a school of excellence, folks. It's a great school, great education, brilliant. So, she went to Wood Farm High School, and in her first year, folks, everything looked great, obviously. As you know, I've got school reports here, folks, from the 20th of 11th 2006. If Michelle is in 1Z, and as you can see, folks, it's all stars. Okay, so things look great. Art, behaviour 4 out of 4, effort 4 out of 4, homework 4 out of 4, overall progression 4 out of 4. See, for 4 stars is overall very good. Drama 4 out of 4, 4 out of 4 for everything right across the board. The only thing she seems to the overall progression, folks, in first year is French. That's the only thing. Everything's great. Physical education's 4 right across the board. Brilliant. Fit, healthy, brilliant. Music, modern studies, mathematics, English, grammar. Brilliant, folks. A star in the making, folks. And then even better, she got a wee certificate. For the Pupils of Equality of East Lancashire Council Award. This certificate is awarded in recognition of significant contribution Michelle has made in the care and consideration of other pupils. Presented by Councillor Mary Montague, Convener of Education, Work Skills and Equalities, on Monday, May the 22nd, 2006. Director of Education, John Wilson. So, first year, looking great, folks, brilliant. The mother's still concerned why her daughter wasn't acting the way that little girls do. You know, can I have some money, mum? Can I have sweets, mum? But she never said, mum. She never says that. She never says, mum. She's just quiet. You know, second year, you know, the mother noticed that her daughter, as you know yourself, progression from a child into a teenager, your body progresses and you fill out. You start to become into a teenager, and she noticed that there wasn't that much progression. You know, something just wasn't right with my sister. And obviously went to Mr. Quigley, and Mr. Quigley says, oh, there's nothing, it's fine, there's nothing, it's fine. So, second year school report is even better, folks. She's even advanced in French now, in second year. Brilliant. Then my mother was still really concerned regarding the chronic weight issue. It used to upset her when she used to give Michelle a bath. So she went to the hospital, folks. And the hospital said, it's okay, she's just dehydrated, just give her some more water. You know, it's just more fluids that she needs. You know, my sister conditions, folk, is a skeletal physique, and she weighs less than 5.5 stone, maybe less than 5 stone, and she's very weak, folks, and her bone structure is very thin. So, third year, fourth year, that was all. Third year, fourth year, I'm going to explain a bit further to you now, because I wasn't around at that time, but I'm just going with conversations with my mother, you know. So, third and fourth year, similarly passed. Okay, this is before, obviously, I got to speak to my mum about this when I realised when I get dropped into a nightmare, folks. So, finished school, you know, and regarding the rate issue, my mum was totally, you know, really upset by it, and everywhere that she went, but oh, there's nothing wrong, blah blah blah, just a wee bit of dehydration, it's fine. After school, she got a phone call from East Lancashire Council, from the school, just to ask if Michelle had found a job yet. As my mother said, she knew she was incapable, folks. She knew she was vulnerable. See, my mother used to pick her up from school every day and take her to school, and, you know, because she knew there was a severe vulnerability, even though they didn't see anything, you know, they, not a word. So, my mother went to see Mr. Quigley when she was just before 17, regarding the weight issue again, and how she was very concerned because my sister's, there's no muscle on her, there's no bone, there's a bone thin, just skeletal physique, folks. She's decimated, folks. So Mr. Quigley said, well, what I'll do for you is I'll refer you to a specialist, you know, regarding this matter, you know. Okay, so fair enough, okay. 8 months had passed, folks, you know, and not a thing. No letters, no communication from Mr. Quigley, you know. So I would say roughly this would have took her into, she was about, this was at the time, at this time when he decided to make a visit, Michelle would have been maybe just past 17, 2 months or so. So the father decided, well, there seems to be a problem here, and something's clearly not right, you know, and decided to make a wee visit to see, make an appointment to see Mr. Quigley at his surgery, you know. And after all, there is a rule now, folks, if you want to go to your doctors, you're not allowed to speak about the person, not unless the person is present there and then. So, my father decided to take Michelle round to see Mr. Quigley, and he held a wee brittle hand. And he went into the office. Mr. Quigley says, are you getting involved? My father went, of course. Of course. That's my daughter. I'm a father, of course. I'm entitled to be involved. I'm entitled to ask questions, after all. So my father went in, and he sat down. Now, not in any threatening manner, or anything. Didn't walk in and say, hi Mr. Quigley, good afternoon. I just wondered if there's a possibility I could have a wee for being here. Is there anything wrong with my daughter? No. My father was forthright in his action, as though to say, what's wrong with my daughter, Mr. Quigley? And Mr. Quigley proceeded to say, it's just a little bit of autism. Hold on a minute, Mr. Quigley. You're not qualified to make that statement. You're only qualified to raise a concern. You had many years to raise that concern, didn't you, Mr. Quigley? So after Mr. Quigley had mentioned that it was a little bit of autism, which obviously is not qualified to make that statement, the father proceeded to ask, when were these vaccinations given, Mr. Quigley? And Mr. Quigley replied, between 1995 and 1998. And then the father asked, how many vaccinations, Mr. Quigley? And Mr. Quigley replied, multiple vaccinations. To me, to you, that's 4 or more. Multiple doses of mercury-infested toxic vaccinations. Then the father asked him, I take it you've got signatures for these vaccinations to be injected? And Mr. Quigley said, we don't work like that. Funny enough, Mr. Quigley, just let me say before I proceed with that interview, it says on your website, Mr. Quigley, that I have had a look at, of your Thornbank Medical Centre website. It says you will not do any care or treatment without the informed consent of the parents. You didn't do that here, Mr. Quigley. And secondly, Mr. Quigley, it says it is the parents' responsibility for the health of their children. Exactly, Mr. Quigley. We didn't want these injected into our family member, Mr. Quigley. So, after that, the father decided we have to have her assessed. And Mr. Quigley said, yes, oh yes, we will. Now, what was known is that they were going to cover it up. After all, folks, she'd attended high school. With perfect school reports. And caring concern for her people. So Mr. Quigley made that statement that it was a little bit of autism. This is a child, folks, that weighs less than 5 stone. This is a child that doesn't know what money is. This is a child that will never work, and will never drive a car, will never experience life. See, Michelle, who I seen before she was kidnapped, but that's for later, I'll explain that to you later. Everybody decimated, folks. She's that thin. She's in her own wee world, folks. You know, she doesn't understand really much. But you may be saying to yourself, hold on a minute, but she attended the School of Excellence of Wood Farm High School for 4 years of perfect school results. Well, I'll bring you up to that. I'll cross the T's for you later to that regarding that matter. So, went to the 2 marks. Now, is that a 2 marks report? The 2 marks assessment for 5 months, folks. Over 4 visits. Now, during that time, folks, it's parliamentary law that the mothers and young can support while you're having a child assessed at any of these places. That's law by Parliament. They didn't do it, folks. They didn't put an income support. What they did tell us is, we'll sort this, it's only temporary, just till we get the assessment done, it's okay. They break the law to part them up in pensions. So, 2 marks assessment. Completed at 18. By the age of 18, oh that's us finished with now, we can't deal with you anymore. She's now an adult, etc, etc. That was it. So, report come through. Asperger's syndrome? Excuse me? I had a wee look at that report, but we knew it was going to be nice, folks. We knew that. After all, you know, in York Hill Hospital, getting her teeth out, they didn't say anything. So, looked at the report, and it says Asperger's syndrome. And then I looked for the weight issue. And I seen it in the weight issue. Demeaning the weight issue, folks. Saying that, oh, because she's very fussy for food, the fact that she hardly eats because of her fussy, that relates, that means that she's skinny because she's not eating enough. That's an insult to my intelligence. It's an insult to my family's intelligence. You know? So, once the 2 marks assessment was done, that was done in, well, Michelle was 18, so in 2000, then about the start of 2012, you know. And then, had to see about a benefit for her, didn't we? You know, we knew that was lies. The 2 marks assessment was covered up in the lies. So, went for the benefit, folks, after 2011. See what happened was, it wasn't for that visit in 2011. Michelle was meant to go to job seekers. You know, she wasn't meant to be recognised at even having anything at all. As far as I'm concerned, there was nothing wrong with. After all, she did attend mainstream high school with perfect results. You know, but I sat down with my mother before I proceed to the benefit fraud. I sat down and I had a wee word with my mum and I said, right, Mum, I said, with these school reports, I said, the first and second year school reports, I said, right, for instance, after your first 2 years at school, you know, everything here's perfect. She would have been going on to sit prelims in 3rd year, and that would have been opening the door for the most important year of her life is 4th year, you know, which is for your exams, you know, for your all grades, for you to go out and get a job, you know. So I asked her, I said, did she sit any prelims or did she sit any exams? She says, no. She's not sat any. You know, no evidence. Well, obviously she's incapable, I can see that, but they didn't. Blah blah blah, they didn't say anything to me. What I asked her about was, my mum said that she went to Wood Farm High School. During the concerns of Mr. Quigley saying nothing. and asked the school, did you see anything or whatever, blah blah blah, is it anything, I've got concerns here. After all, she weighs less than 5 stone. Now that weight issue was apparent at Woodfarm High School. Now if she'd done this physical education, folks, there is no way on earth that she could have done what's on these school reports, folks. Mark my words. Physical education. Well, she's like a skeleton. She's very light. She's very brittle boned. Which you've done track and field with, fam. Which you've ran and done the hurdles. Which you've played volleyball, where she's got to raise her arms to hit a big heavy ball. Not a chance. Not a chance, Woodfarm. So, what I asked the school, and he just turned and says, why don't you, if you've got a concern, take it to the doctor. All I'm going to explain, obviously, they're not going to say, take it to the doctor. Once again, if my mum went to the doctor, Mr. Quigley says nothing. So, let's put the nail on the head, folks. Bang. The fact is, Mr. Dr. Quigley had covertly arranged in 1995, between 95 and 98, for 2 weighing check sessions at the Thornley Bank Medical Centre, under the guise of a weighing check sessions. My mother, and I discussed, had went round to these 2 weighing check sessions because this is the only time we would have done it, folks. We didn't want any of these vaccines anywhere near your child or family member. And Mr. Quigley, the only way you could have done it, folks, come in, Mr. How you doing? If you'd just like to pass your child to my sister, which was a baby, to the nurse will take her into the next room and weigh and check her for you. That wasn't just what happened, folks. The nurse would take her in the orders of Mr. Dr. Quigley, and she weighed, checked, and vaccinated. First time with vaccinations, and then he wanted to put more in her, so he made another appointment and she came round and he put more in the child, and then the child was handed back to the mother. You've got a beautiful healthy baby. And then proceeded to ask the Glasgow City Council, can you hide this child in your education system? In nursery, nothing was said. Then in primary school, when my mother went round regarding relating to the neurological problems that was kind of concerning her when she was 5 years old, with the pad and the pen, leaving it all the time, and the strange behaviour from my sister, Mr. Quigley, oh, there's nothing wrong, it's fine, she's a good girl. And then she went to the York Hill to have her teeth removed, folks. They took teeth out, folks, that may possibly be a chance that they're going to cause a problem. They wanted to reduce the risk, the chance that they should have to be put back to York Hill later on, before she's 18, to have her teeth out. They didn't want that, and they never mentioned anything to my mother, anything about autism, which I know is lies. It's lies, it's not autism she's got, folks. So they hide it up. Then the school, they didn't raise a concern. So after all, obviously, because as far as they're concerned, she's perfect, and she's been awarding care and concern of other people, and she's perfect at maths, French, English, grammar, physical education, religious studies, science, technical studies. Now, what technological studies, you know, using vices and using your strength. My sister has no strength, folks. She doesn't know anything, folks. So, schools just kept saying, take her to the doctor. Yeah, they were hiding. Now, what I don't understand is Central Council is when the mother made a placing request to you in 2003, while Glasgow City Council were covering and hiding the child in Camlogic Primary for the doctor, who ignorantly knew that he'd done and damaged her. He knew neurologically that he'd damaged her. So take it, Glasgow City Council approached you, didn't they? Had a wee word and said, look, you've got a child, a child placing request for under your authority. I wonder if you could do us a wee favour. I wonder if you could hide this child for us in the education system. Is that okay? Don't worry, she's in her own wee world. She's not disruptive. She's easily, don't worry, she won't give you any problems, anything whatsoever. Why didn't you say no? Why didn't you say, if you can't do that, that's disgusting, that's disgraceful, we want no part of that, no, we'll refuse that. But you didn't. You agreed to take part. Because Glasgow City Council had already told you, didn't they? They'd already told you that it's okay. The NHS is already involved, they've covered up, the NHS won't say anything. Mr. Quigley won't say anything, it's okay, he's not going to say anything, we're trying to protect him. It's okay, it's fine, just don't say anything, nothing at all. And you's agreed to take part. So, hospital, dehydration, excuse me. Then I've got another reason on the fake, on the fake 2 marks report that says that she's difficult to eat. So what one is it? You know, I don't understand. What is she dehydrated, or is it because she's difficult to eat? You're giving us different reasons. It's okay if we know what it is. We know the reason why. She's of skeletal physique and is neurologically destroyed, and his body is decimated with multiple doses of mercury-infested toxic vaccines that were administered into the child without the consent of their parents, and you didn't tell us, Mr. Quigley. We're aware, we know exactly what you done. So, let's go on from 2011, folks, into the present. So after the 2 marks report, folks, now we've got to get a benefit, you know, for the child, you know. So what we're looking at, disability living allowance. As my mother said, she got a claim pack sent out to her, you know, and I looked at the assessor, you know, a claim thing. Right, so she's she sent the claim pack back. Now, when in September 2012, I looked at this document, folks, and it says Disability and Carer Service from Glasgow. Now when I looked at this document, folks, I knew right away, but so did my mother as well, she knew as well. But I looked at this right away and I went, that's not disability living allowance. Disability and Carer Service. What I said to her was, it's an ESA attachment, folks. That's what I said to her. I said, this is an ESA attachment. This isn't a benefit, it stands in its own right. You only get this when you're on employment support allowance. Now, you've got to remember, folks, I don't think employment support allowance covers neurologically destroyed children, physically and mentally, does it, folks? You know, so this letter came through and I had a look at it. You know, and it said, this is a letter with disability allowance came from Michelle. And the rest of this letter, we use the word you as if we were writing to the person with the illness or disability. That's a deception, folks, of the statement. What they're saying is we recognise that she's incapable of looking after herself and they won't understand anything what's been asked of her. Which that is the truth, folks. That's the truth. And it says here, mobility awarded, lower rate, £20 in care, lower rate, £20. But it's not a benefit, it doesn't stand its own right. This is an ESA attachment, turned round, folks, to make it look as like disability living allowance, you know. So for 7 months, my mother refused this benefit, folks. Refused it totally. Annie DWP. Sat and done nothing. Just sat there. Up to June of 2013. Now, what I'm going to say to these folks is I asked my mother, I says, did you get the claim pack, the big massive pack through? And she said, yeah, but you know, I didn't fill it in, you know, I only filled in wee bits, you know. And I said, well, how's this? What she actually told me was, folks, is that the Department of Work and Pensions phoned her at the house and asked her 2 questions, folks. 2 questions they asked her. First question they asked is, how did Michelle get to school? And my mother says, oh, I took her up, which my mum did. My mum took her up to the school every day because she knew the vulnerability. You know, so she pick her up, drop her up, pick her up. And then the other question was, how does Michelle eat? My mum says, oh, she's quite a fussy eater, you know. what they've done, folks, she's quite a fussy eating. They've turned it round and says she can't cook. And then because her mum said that she needs to take her up and back from the school, oh, she needs a wee hand to walk. And that's the reason how they've concocted this 2020. Now, which is obviously a fraud benefit. It's benefit for folks, definitely. Nothing more, nothing less than a massive benefit account sting. The sting, folks, the sting, remember. So, for that time, that wasn't being done. But early in January 2013, that was September, 26th of September 2012, this was sent through the door, folks. My mother received this fraudulent benefit that they're calling disability living allowance when it's an ESA attachment, folks. You know, so I said to her, well, you should be income support. You know, my mother was in job seekers, folks. I said, why not income support? Because you should be. You get a 2 max assessment. You automatically, temporarily, income support automatically while your child is being assessed at one of these centres. They said, oh, it's just temporary, just test it. You were never going to recognise the child has a disability in the system. Just the same as the schools didn't reveal any condition, just the same as Mr. Quigley didn't say anything, just the same as the NHS didn't say anything. The reason why Mr. Quigley wasn't going to show a concern, because he was the one that done the concern. That's the reason why. A little analogy for you folks. If you do something to someone of great harm and you don't want anybody to know, what did you do, folks? You hide it. Let's proceed. So, for 7 months, that benefit was being refused, the fraud benefit. My mother got a wee, you know, I can clearly see that they want to keep her out of the system. They don't want her in the system. They don't want to have her in the system as being disabled. This is clearly evident. That backs up everything that happened from 95 into 2011. The fact that she wasn't put in income support during the 2 months shows your premeditation, folks. Nothing more, nothing less. So, it wasn't then that in January that my mother had met a friend. She had friends, and there's friends who knew what was going on and were disgusted by it. So my mother got a wee card from a friend, and it's for a lawyer in Glasgow. New law, folks. You know, new law. You know. And they deal with guardianship applications, etc. and medical negligence. They deal with all that, folks. So my mother gives her a wee call and explained to her, look, I'm trying to get my daughter into the system, you know, and found it difficult, and explained what happened. So, what happened was, folks, that was way back on January of 2013, folks, you know. So, got a letter through from her, and it said that she's going to go to the same authority. Okay, got a letter through for her on the 10th of July 2013. I'm writing to advise you that, I apologise, a wee second. Yeah, here it is here, folks, 15th of July 2013, guardian application from Michelle. Yeah, this is a lawyer. We're led to believe is acting for us. Following a recent telephone conversation, I'm simply writing to provide you with an update. I have been advised by the MHO allocated by the local authority. Jacqueline Jenkins is to arrange to visit you and Michelle soon to prepare her report for court. In addition to the MHO report, Michelle will be required to be assessed by her GP. Excuse me? Her GP? He's not qualified to assess her. And the psychiatrist. I have written to Dr. Quigley Laura Cameron requesting to meet Michelle at the beginning of the 28th of July 2013, and they shall contact you direct to confirm a date to carry out these assessments. Now, as soon as she sent this, folks, we knew right away that this guardianship didn't exist. She should have been outside Glasgow, folks. Now what's got to be explained here. Everyone has invested interest now that this child is not recognised in the system for a disability. You know? So, After the 2 months, we still don't know what she's got, folks. We understand, we don't know what she's suffering from. But what I can confirm to you is it's catastrophic. It's absolutely serious, folks. But this is the same conditions you had at high school, remember that. So, Jacqueline Jenkins, here's a letter here from Jacqueline Jenkins. Let's just see if I can just pull this out. And this is when Jacqueline Jenkins, you know, from the Rochdale Centre in Pollock, sent a letter out to the mother. I apologise, just let me look for it here. Sorry, no. Here we go. 10th of July, folks. I'm writing to advise you that I'm a mental health officer and I will be undertaking the guardianship assessment regarding to your daughter, Michelle. As part of the process, I will normally meet with the proposed welfare guardian on 2 occasions. I would like to therefore meet you at home and perhaps at the office where I'm based if this is convenient. The 17th of July 2013. Now, on the June of that year, folks, now don't forget the benefit still not been accepted. The mother was in job seekers allowance. You know, the reason why she was on it is because what they were offering wasn't disability living allowance, folks. You know, that's like me holding an apple up and saying to you, that's an orange. That's not an orange because I say it's an orange, it's an apple. Obviously. So, I would like to just read out this social, a letter that came from to the mother from the Rochdale Social Work Department, folks. Now remember, Carol Davis went to the same authority for an assessment to try and get Michelle into the system, you know. So, before I read this letter out, contacted Carol Davis, waiting for that, as though she's acting for us. We got a letter, folks. The date is 17th of June 2013, folks. Now, that benefit has not been accepted for 7 months, from September up to this date. I have received information from the Department of Work and Pensions that this is to Michelle. There's one for the mum, but this is to Michelle. You know, excuse me, why are you sending letters to Michelle, Social Work Department? Because the benefit that was offered in September the 26th of 2012 had that statement, didn't it? We're speaking to you as though we're speaking to Michelle. So have you changed your tune? So, she's all of a sudden okay now, and she can understand this. But I would like to read this letter out. I have received information from the Department of Work and Pensions that you should be in receipt of disability living allowance and they are unable to pay this to you as your mother was your financial appointee. My mother never signed for an appointee. My mother wasn't a carer because her child's not. Or she was a carer for years. A hidden carer, you know, unknown to her, you know. She was never an appointee. Who would like to get access to this money that's owed to you? What money it's been owed to you? Because we haven't applied for the benefit. Because you stopped us. You stopped the mother, didn't you? Glasgow City Council Department of Work and Pensions from getting into the system. So what actually happened, folks, was before that, I do apologise, before June the 17th, let me take you back a couple of months. While the so-called guardianship was meant to be in that, it was active, waiting for the MHOs, which we knew wasn't going to happen. My mother was in job seekers allowance. Now in April, she was sanctioned for that job seekers allowance. They were saying, oh, you're not, we've got a doubt that you've been out looking for work. I'm going to be sentenced, she's got a child that's severely destroyed and disabled and requires to be looked after at all times. That's what we knew. You know, but they sanctioned her money. The reason why they sanctioned her money, folks, is because she wasn't accepting benefit fraud. They called disability living allowance. You know and I know, if that's disability living allowance and the mother's on income support, just the same as she should be on income support to 2 months, they don't going to recognise that. Premeditation. So, I said to my mother, well, you might as well just sign off job seekers because you're not entitled to job seekers, mum. You know what I mean? Because you're looking after your daughter who's severely disabled and blah blah blah, you can't go out and look for work and go to courses. But they were abusing her. The Department of Work and Pensions were abusing her, folks, because she wasn't accepting the benefit for her daughter. So I told her to sign off on just before the start of May. She signed off and I waited for the GHA. This is where they come into it, folks. I waited for a rent arrears statement. Now, as you know, once you sign off a benefit, everything collapses like a pack of cards. Benefits all stop. Things like council tax, etc., etc., housing, all stops. So for 2 weeks after she signed off job seekers allowance, there wasn't a letter from the GHA. And I says to myself, they're getting their rent. Yeah, they've been paid their rent, something you should have received a letter. So, under the guise of Mr. Stephen Cooper, I represented her with the mother because I was a spokesman. You know, after all, there was no one in the system to speak up for her. It was designed that way. I decided to accompany my mother to Nits Hill Housing Office. And I walked in and I said, hello, my name's Mr. Stephen Cooper, I'm a representative here. I wonder if you could go into your system for me, please. I wonder if you could tell me what benefit you have in your system that supports May's housing benefit payment. And the woman was very nervous. And she turned round and she says, oh, we've got employment support allowance. No, they're not on employment support allowance. She's not been on that for more than a year. In fact, they took her off that within a month, about a year ago. And then she took her card out and she woofed right out of the office, 100 miles an hour. I was like a minute. And I sat and watched her behind the glass petition, back and forward at 100 miles an hour. What's the hurry? Why are you running for? I didn't tell you to hurry. Take your time. You know, I know, I knew that seen that. Then who burst in? Lorraine Kirkwood. I'm not a housing officer. I'm not speaking to you. I'm not speaking to you. It's not us that deal with you. It's Shawbridge Street to deal with you. Okay. So we left. But funny enough, Lorraine, I've not received any documentation. Therefore, me, when I caught you getting the housing benefit paid, knowingly accepting housing benefit payment, well, the mother was being abused and not a benefit. So, May the 5th, rent stops. I had a conversation with the welfare officer. I had no malice to the gentleman. It's just very unfortunate who he works for, who is attempting this massive benefit fraud attempt on a mother and a severely disabled child. And I explained to the gentleman. In fact, I left. I won't repeat any of the contents of the conversation that we had. But he knew and me knew, let's just say that. So, we left. And the letter from the social work department came in June. Remember, the mother's not on a benefit. The rent was stopped in May 2013. The social work department sent a threatening letter to the mother. They received information from the Department of Work and Pensions that your daughter should be on disability living allowance, which is not disability living allowance, it's an ESA attachment turned round back to front to give the illusion that it's disability living allowance. It's a benefit for it. And if you do not allow us to speak to Michelle, funny enough, 7 months ago she's not capable of understanding anything, but if you don't let us speak to her, then we're going to see the adult support protection legislation. That's a threat to me, don't you think, folks? So, that's fine. So we knew that, we knew right away. What that is the DWP have decided we can't put this benefit forward, so they're not accepting it. What can we do? Glasgow City Council, pass it to us. We'll take over now. So remember, that's the same Glasgow City Council folks who were hiding us since 1997. It's the same Glasgow City Council who asked East Renfrewshire Council when it was taking place in the quiz, can you hide this from your system, please, if you don't mind. So they come riding in their big horse, don't they? Big white horse to save everyone. After all, East Renfrewshire Council. You know, you've already done your bit. You're just a sitting duck. You're relying on Glasgow City Council to protect you. Now you're relying on the GHA not to buckle. So, adult legislation protection procedure. I went down to a visit to the Rochdale Centre, still under the guise of Mr. Stephen Cooper, with my mother and Michelle. And what I can tell you that took place, folks, for 25 minutes was nothing more, nothing less than a verbal attack by two social workers. All in Michelle. Michelle doesn't understand anything. She was actually very frustrated, folks, mentally frustrated by these people. All Michelle said, 2 words, I don't know. They were saying to her, oh, you've got this, you've got a lot of money to take. Michelle, see, try to bypass the mother, you know. It didn't work for you, Glasgow City Council. The child doesn't understand. But it's the same child that attended high school with perfect results, folks, and came in consideration of that. This is the same child, you know what I'm saying, that attended high school. Yes. So, I left him a copy of the 2020 from September 26th, and I said, look, I said, why don't you go to the Department of Pensions and ask them why the mother's refusing? Or they didn't, because they already knew it's a benefit fraud. You know, they already knew. So I left him a copy of it anyway. And I said, there you go, a wee copy of the benefit fraud fee. After the verbally attacked myself for 25 minutes. Now remember, there's still not a benefit, eh? Housing benefit, the mother's not a benefit. So we've left. And repeatedly, the social work department came to the door. We really need to speak to Michelle. Now, I'm protecting my family, folks. I'm protecting my mother, I'm protecting Michelle for their human rights. In fact, our human rights have already been breached. The mother's human rights have already reached the catastrophic results. They can't turn that back, that's done, unfortunately. So, the social work department came, didn't they, folks? Came to the door, sat at the door. I said, excuse me. I said, take us to court, please, if you don't mind. I said, take us to court. After all, folks, don't you think, in September 26th, when the benefit was being refused, don't you think if that was a lawful benefit, folks, right away, the social work department would be on, excuse me, you're denying your daughter the lawful money that she's entitled to. Therefore, you're putting your daughter at risk by not accepting this money. We'll have to go to court and present this. They didn't go to court because they couldn't go to court because it's a benefit fraud. It's not the system. Then I found out when I spoke to my mother. I says, have you got did you fill in the big claim pack? Yes. She said, I didn't really fill it in, but I got the claim pack. I said, you send it to Glasgow. I said, it's not Glasgow deal with us about ordinary lunch and big claim packs. It's Blackpool, and it's been Blackpool since the 60s. It's not Glasgow deal with us about ordinary lunch. So, under the guise of Mr. Stephen Cooper, I requested a copy of the claim pack. But lucky enough to me, I got the original. Fair enough. So I got the original back, and I was looking at it, and there's nothing on it. There's just a wee thing at the back, it just says additional information. There's nothing been filled in. Additional information, the mother's just not a wee small description, nothing, just basic Michelle does, but you know, the general of all the pages, there's nothing in it that could even ascertain a benefit. Now what you've got to understand, folks, is that no matter if that book was filled in expertly, it was never getting dealt with. It was always to be ignored. So it was dated June the 12th, 2012, so June the 13th, that's a year. Excuse me. I phoned Blackpool, didn't I? And I says to him, I got someone on. I says, hi, I says, my name is Mr. Stephen Cooper, I'm representative of the claimant, Michelle, which is my sister. And I asked him, now I knew it hadn't been at Blackpool. And I says to the agent at Blackpool, I said, excuse me, I've got a claim pack here. I said, why is it taking a year? He said, I was tripping. Why is this taking a year for you to send this back? Because there's no information on it. they could ascertain a benefit. Why did it take me a year? And what the agent says to me, excuse me, she's very confused. She says, excuse me, we're not dealing with the claim. What I've got in the system is an appointee's been put in place, it's been granted by Glasgow City Council for Department of Pensions to look after the affairs and to look after this under special circumstances without the knowledge of my mother. All secretly done, covertly done. See, they couldn't go to court. You'd have to go to court for an appointee. I'm sure you understand that. You must go to court. But that wasn't their that wasn't their agenda at that time. What? They couldn't go to court anyway. Not in a month of Sundays, as I'm going to explain to you further. They just wanted to take the claim pack and all the bits and bring it up to Glasgow to start the illusion. The big sting, the benefit sting. And they sent that out, the big benefit pack, and I will say disability of noise. There you go, if you'd just like to deal with that, that's fine. There you go. You know, when my mother told me, I couldn't believe it. You know, I was like, right, I can see what's happened to you. That's, you know, that's the illusion. I said, they're dealing with it, but they were trying to put it on the ESA through an attachment, doing it backwards and calling it disability living allowance. So, Jacqueline Jenkins, the medical health officer, came out to the house. See, we've got the news, but we knew when I seen it says Rosedale Resource Centre, that's the CWOC's in the same place as the social work department, who are trying to harass the family because I'm not accepting the benefit for it. They said, oh, we'll go to court under adult legislation protection, we'll have to remove the child. You know, that's for that adult legislation protection procedure, that's what that means, you know. But we knew, they can't go to court, not so silly. I told them repeatedly, for months, take the family to court. Oh no, you're not getting anywhere near the house. You're not entitled to get the property. The child's not a benefit. It's not been recognised. If you don't mind, please move on. Take me to court. I said, all the time they came to the house, repeated visits, take the